and being able to trust it every single day. Every rep that I take, obviously, it gets more comfortable and more comfortable. Obviously, there's a lot that I still need to get back into doing. But, yeah, I feel that's probably like the last checkpoint until we go out there and play for real. So,
Troy, the defense seems to be throwing a lot more alignments at you guys, especially early in camp. What has that challenge been like for you guys as a unit to understand, when they're challenging this gap versus that gap and needing to communicate?
Yeah. So the big thing right now is that, like, obviously we're trying to prepare for a season, but we're playing the Steelers every single day. Like, we're playing against our defense, so we're making up rules that are just specific to camp. And obviously going into the season, it'll help us knowing that we've seen these fronts before. So when the bullets are flying, like, we'll be very prepared. That's something we talk about every day. I joke around and say I'm like 6'5", and everyone always laughs at me, but I mean, at the end of the day,
put it on the roster and it won't change.
Yeah, that's what I tell them, just to look it up. But yeah, that's an inside joke we all talk about every single day, how short I am, or
you specifically,
Zach is.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Make fun of Zach a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing we can do about that. So obviously we have to be able to make up for that in other ways. So,
Troy, you guys weren't the most experienced line either, other than Isaac. How do you work around that as a group?
It's football at the end of the day. There's nothing we can do that I can't go back in time and wish I never got hurt, and really nothing we can do other than learn from the coaches and learn from the experience. I mean, we got the best defensive line we get to go against every single day, so going into the season, obviously it'll help prepare us for Sundays.
You mentioned some of the rowdiness. How much does the heat kind of add to that?
How much is what?
The heat of the late afternoon practices. How much does that kind of amp things up even more and get you guys kind of frustrated with each other?
Yeah, you could tell guys were a little bit more on edge yesterday, obviously with the heat. But I mean, this is something that Coach Tomlin planned for. This is something he told us before we went on break to be prepared for. I was back home in Vegas. It was like 110 degrees every single day. So obviously it wasn't that crazy, but the humidity is a lot different out here. But it's something I got to get used to. I can't like, I was about to say something. I can't complain about it, knowing that it's something that I'm going to be playing in for the next couple months. So.
Do you see any benefits from it too, though? Like having to be out here in this heat and humidity, and I mean, you guys are playing in Jacksonville that first preseason game.
Yeah.
So is it going to help?
I mean, there's going to be 1 o'clock games. Like, we can't control what time we play, so obviously being out in the hottest part of the day is going to prepare us for anything. I mean, today it's crazy how bipolar this weather is here, and it's like raining 10 minutes, and then next 10 minutes it's like how it was yesterday. I don't even know how hot it was, but yeah, it's preparing us for sure, and obviously getting us in shape, and we just got to make sure that we're all hydrated, especially you guys too. I'm sure you guys feel it as well, but yeah.
If there's a primary teaching point that Pat Myers had with you just through the early parts of camp, what's the biggest thing he's focused on with you to improve?
Personally?
Yeah.
I think just settling in, like my feet especially. Like, obviously missed a lot of reps, so being back, I think got some happy feet, just moving them just to move them. But that's about it. I think once my feet are good, usually everything else is good. So there's reps here and there that, depending on who I'm blocking and who's rushing against me, things can get a little crazy just because I'm trying to get back into that rhythm. But once I do, I'm starting to feel better, especially going into pads. It changes a lot of things. Got more to grab.
What's his coach's style like? Like, how does he challenge you?
I would say all three of them. Him, Coach Isaac, and Teo. They all have different coaching styles, and we all know what to expect from them. So, I mean, I think he just makes sure that he sets the table with his technique that he wants to do, and then we kind of just choose from that.
He just told me it's a lot of history, a lot of football culture here, and I was actually reaching out to him before it happened, like, hey, put the word in kind of thing. So we just keeping back and forth and whatnot, and like I said, that's my dog right there.
How long ago was that you said put in a good word?
A little, we was talking when he got his extension, and just, kind of seeing things that were going on, and so.
Obviously, you were on the street for a while after last season. What can you tell us about the process of them bringing you in at this time, a day or two into camp?
This is the first for me, coming in this late, having to pick up the playbook. I know football, that's one thing for sure. At the end of the day, it's just putting terminology to it, in a different scheme, different concepts, but I know football. At the end of the day, I know where to be.
Most of the guys back there in the secondary don't have much more experience here than you.
Yeah.
What's the leadership dynamic here?
No, we definitely got some veteran guys back there, a lot of guys that bring different intangibles and traits to the room, so I'm excited about it, to be able to get in the mix.
Chuck, you feel like you were the player you were before 23?
Definitely. I mean, I got hurt, and that's part of the game. You play this game, things are gonna happen. I was clean for so long, and you got to take what comes with the game. The ups, the downs, and I feel like I bounced back good from that, and that's in the history. I mean, that's in the past. So just keep moving forward, stacking days, taking care of my body, and let things happen how they happen.
What kind of safety are you?
What's that,
How
Cassie?
I say? Yeah.
Deshaun also told us yesterday that you came straight off the plane and came straight to practice. Do you kind of pride yourself on that, just being able to be where your feet are and do what's asked of you, no matter the situation?
Yeah, I think that's just part of being a professional. With me and my approach, like I said, this offseason was different than any other for me. Training on my own, just making sure I showed up in shape, my conditioning and be right and be good. So I was like, whenever the opportunity come, I'm going to take it and run with it. Like that morning I did my workout. I'm like, yeah, they talking about, can we get you out here? And I'm thinking, they probably thinking I just want to watch, but I'm like, I want to get out there in the mix, Like I said, I know football. It's just once I start putting terminology to it, I'm going to be all right. So I definitely pride myself on that, just knowing that I'm going to be ready and in shape and whatever it takes.
Which airport was it?
What's that?
Was it the airport right up here? Or was it
Where'd I fly in? I think, I flew in the pit, Yeah, so I was down at the facility and whatnot and still had to do the workout and then that hour drive out here, yeah.
Chuck, to the point about all the new guys, does that allow you to kind of catch up faster because there's a lot of guys kind of in the same boat or only a few days ahead of you?
Yeah, like you said, it's a rolling train. It ain't waiting for nobody. The season is almost here. So like you said, you got to pick it up and roll.
When you look at the secondary, not just the guys at the top, but also some of the depth guys like Brandon Eccles and you coming in and one and all those guys, what do you think the potential is for this unit?
I mean, we can be as good as we want to be. It's going to take everybody, communication, going out there doing it on the field, but we can be as good as we want to be. I definitely understand it, what they're saying and what they're asking. Like I said, just me being in a different space for the past 2-3 days, and picking it up, but I understand it's nothing that's unfamiliar or anything.
You were in a locker room with Aaron Rodgers in New York. Have you noticed any differences in him here in your first couple days?
We definitely talked, about, being over there and being here, but, I mean, we're both in new spaces and we just rolling with it.
Chuck, when you played for Baltimore, did you ever envision playing for Pittsburgh?
I mean, to be honest, I can never say I did, but, I understand that this is a business and things happen and you got to do what you got to do. And then I think it goes beyond that for me. It's my love for the game. This is an opportunity for me to continue to play football, so it's bigger than that at the end of the day.
Do you have any particular memories or impressions of playing these guys over the years?
Man, these games, Ravens-Pittsburgh games, was tough, physical games. I just remember days after those games, everybody being beat up. So it's tough football games. I know what it is with those games.
How do you fit into that? Are you an AFC North football player?
Definitely. That's just been me. I was in that conference for the longest, so I'm definitely a tough football player, and I know what this conference is about.
Let's do two more.
your favorite Ravens-Steelers play?
Favorite Ravens-Steelers play? Oh, I think it was a tight end. I can't remember his name, but I had seen him stiff arm. He stiff armed somebody on a Thursday night game, and I was like, that same kind of play gonna happen. And he took it for a touchdown. I was like, that same thing gonna happen. Like you're gonna be in the same situation. And sure enough, it happened. He tried to do the stiff arm, tackled him and whatnot. But yeah, that was probably my favorite one.
When Sean said you got here, took a picture of his locker and called him ugly, you think he's ugly?
Nah. I just letting them know I'm in the building. Yeah.
Nako, you can get the last one back.
Thanks. Yeah, I just want to. Why do you think there weren't more bites for you in the first couple of waves of free agency, and why you did have to wait until?
I think probably just the stuff that happened to me last year, rolled up high ankle, and that stuff that you can't control, part of the game that's gonna come with it. But like I said, my approach was gonna be the same. Whether I was on a team or not, I was gonna be in shape, showing up ready to go and play football.